This is Anthony Beyonders from Mission Start Podcast. And before we start the show, I'd like to say that thank you for the support you have gave us thus far, making this site where it is today. But to keep this going, we need a bit of help. As much as we love, going to conventions and, talking about games and the podcast and everything we do, some of this stuff isn't easy for us to do. So we have a Patreon page you guys should check out. On our Patreon page, we have multiple tiers of rewards, goals, and other goodies you can get, including getting these like this podcast early in the week, right when the podcast ends. There's also other rewards as to being in the podcast with us, early access to videos and photos, and much more. But just want to let you know that we have a Patreon page at patreon.com/missionstartpodcast. Definitely check it out, guys. Share the love, and we'll show you some love. Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Beyonders from Conover. It has been a while since we had the last Conover, but it is the year 2016. There's a bunch of new conventions on the list of like what we're gonna cover for the first half of the year. And it's like, holy crap, we got a ton of them. We got a ton of conventions we're covering. Anyways, joining me,
JD.
JD. Okay, JD.
It's me, JD. Yay.
I just turned to an.
Turn on my
But
lawn.
yes, so JD's gonna join us to talk everything about SAC Anime Winter. How was it?
It was good.
Explain why it was good.
It was SAC Anime-y. The con, of course, grew in size once again. A bunch of things different, and they, from last summer, they took in a ton of feedback from the guests and all the attendees, and they made it a little bit better, which I think was cool.
When you said that they expanded SAC Anime, do you mean the building?
Because usually during SAC Summer, they have the Greek Food Festival going on at the same time, and they share the convention space, convention center to themselves.
Oh,
so it was a
cool.
lot bigger this year, and they got to do a lot more with the space. So once again, the whole area was twice the size pretty much as it was last time. This time, Vendors Hall area, Artist Alley size just a little bit, and they made a whole section off where the main events used to be a few years ago. A section off for autographs, and they had a whole space over for the convention, Vendors Hall and Artist Alley too. So that was bigger. That was cool. Yeah, I mean, stayed. It's still in the same place. Nothing really expanded. They didn't use the other building that they used, but they didn't use that other building across the street this time. They just only used the convention center and the Sheraton, as they always do. But it just felt...
The major complaints, at least on my end, is like, having the other building is cool to have, but like, because the main convention in the hotel, I felt like it was a bit of annoyance to really walk to this other building if you want to go see a panel or to a concert.
Yeah, and less than a block away, maybe like a block or something. But at the same time, like, you had to walk.
On our end, but
it
really...
does. But at the same time, we do sound lazy, but at the same time, like, everything's all together. You didn't get that feeling when they used two buildings.
Yeah.
Now it's one building, everything's...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, awesome. It's great to hear. So with that amount of space, pretty much in two buildings, how was the attendance? Like, was there more of a, was kind of the same like it was last time?
I think it was, roughly the same space-wise, people-wise. I think nothing, but I felt like other than that, it was typically very similar.
Okay. Cool. Those events that happened at SAC Anime, did you manage to check out any of them, or what was the word-wise on the con floor about some of the...
A few new ones that I haven't had before. They had a Greek fashion show, which I thought, not Greek, geek, sorry. Thinking about Greek food, I liked it. as it always happens, there were some difficulties, tech difficulties. Todd Habercorn was there this year, but his flight ended up getting like delayed or canceled or something. So a lot of the panels, he had a delayed arrival and stuff. So that, those were typical kind of things. Night panels with some of the guests, which were always really funny. I thought they were very high quality panels.
Your favorites?
My favorite panel was the Damian Clark After Hours panel. It was voice acting, had a bottle of wine and...
Are you serious? No way.
He was drinking a bottle of wine.
Yes, that's awesome.
I don't know how much detail I can go in on this PG podcast, but...
Oh my god, I wish I was there.
Had a lot of great...
Okay, I'm have to look around YouTube, see if anybody recorded
I hope it's on YouTube, because that was hilarious.
Oh man, those were the best experience. A long time ago, it was the voice of Shinji. Forgot his name, but like he didn't swear per se, but like he was given like this like kind of awful but like funny advice. Oh my god, it was hilarious.
I think KrakenCon and Matthew Mercer held a panel, and right before that, some of the girls who went to the convention were trying to get him intoxicated, and he did the panel super inebriated. It was just great.
Hilarious.
And funny stories, and the best stories always come out.
Definitely. That's awesome though. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Cool. Was there any other panels that was kind of
the best one that I went to? Another few that I really liked. I'm trying to think. I did so much, like lost like all of my memory about it. Like it happened so fast. We were always just like boom, 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 boom. We have to do this, and this.
Nice.
The Geek Fashion Show too. I thought that was really neat, and I'm glad they had it this year. I thought it was really cool.
Sweet. Awesome. I'm Sushi. Is that the group that does it? The Geek Fashion Show there in Sacramento, or?
I have no idea. I know they do geek fashion shows like at other, basically like a bunch of designers and stuff, and all these different like models and designers, and one of them was like or something like that, and it was pretty cool.
Sick. That's awesome. In terms of the cosplayers, and this is a question I ask every time, but I have to ask, like, what any particular cosplays that stood out to you at this convention?
There was so much player that I thought was absolutely hilarious. She cosplayed One Punch Woman.
Nice.
I've been her picture blogs I follow, and I thought her costume was absolutely fantastic.
I think I might know who you're talking about, because I around the internet.
I've only been able to see One Punch Woman cosplay.
I'm curious now. Hang on. I'm gonna. Let's see. Images, cosplay. Yeah, this makes for perfect. I believe I found her. Huh. That's really cool. That is actually really freaking cool. Is the fact that she's able to pull up that bold look.
And still look really good.
Yeah.
Like, not many people can pull off being...
The makeup... Yeah, the makeup is ridiculously good on her. Like...
Yeah, I mean, I think she did a fantastic... Like, fact that she did One Punch Woman, I thought was hilarious, because, like... She basically did One Punch Man, except put some... She looked good, and I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
She was my favorite, but then there was,
They're there every year, but their costumes are still great.
The costumes are still absolutely fantastic, nonetheless. I mean, so strong this year, and it'll be interesting to see how they follow up this September. How that rolls out, cause
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty sick. For me, like Sac Anime. I mean, last time when I was there, but they're not quite there yet. Last time I remember seeing them. Only because I was spoiled. I went to ALA like prior to going to that Sac Anime, and ALA, I swear every 5 minutes I walked around like there was a good cosplay of something. But no, like definitely like Sac Anime is.
I think it's just because like Sac Anime attracts a different crowd. Like it's not like one of those conventions that's like anime cosplayers coming here to show off and debut new costumes. You have people who are kind of getting started and kind of just like dipping their toes in trends, but they don't go, like this is their home con or something like that. So you have like a really good variety, and like It's a really, and you don't want to be really terribly intimidated. Like, if you're like a new con goer and you go to like San Diego Comic-Con in that position, I would feel quite intimidated to want to start cosplaying. But I think SAC Anime cosplayers are really approachable gateway into the scene. So I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely. Cool. What it's price, but like, what were just out of curiosity, if you knew the prices were for this year's SAC Anime?
They were a little bit more expensive than they were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I bought tickets for my younger siblings. I got them weekend tickets each.
Okay.
For weekend passes, and I don't know, I can't remember if that's like normal or what.
45.
Remember?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact price, because usually they're in the 30-35 range.
Edge went from 30, and then it went up to 35, and then it went to 40, and then at the door it was 40 for regular tickets. Just cheap. So.
Right. No, I got you. That's fine. $40 for a weekend pass. That's good.
I know. I mean,
that's actually pretty good. In terms of the staff, how was the staff? Because I always heard mixed things about the staff. Sometimes that's, in the world.
yeah, I mean, I think it all just depends on like, who you are and what you're currently doing. With the staff, and I didn't have as many friends staffing the con, so I didn't really get to hear all like the inside gossip and stuff. SAC Anime had a lot of problems last year.
Oh yeah, it did.
With harassment and stuff like that, and this year they really stepped up their game. They had like up in
Good.
every hallway, posters everywhere. It was on the back of your badge. It was literally everywhere.
Good.
So I think they took it to heart, and they actually like did something about it. And I think they also had a Cosplays Not Consent panel this year, and I think that they stepped up their game on that end, and I didn't hear as many horror stories as last time, which was great. And I think they did, from what I saw, they were pretty cool, and they always try and do their best, and you always have the people volunteers. This is the first time they're doing something, they don't know the rules, they don't really know what to do in these situations, so it's not like they're hired employees of the doubt where they might not know where something is, they might be just as confused as you are, so
definitely
for a job.
Okay, cool. Awesome. No, it's great to hear. I think that with all the consideration, and I want to say definitely a lot of people had to question for this year's, and yeah, definitely some of the sounds of things they put everything they had in terms. It's very good to hear.
Yeah.
In terms of like what from your on the con floor, like what was the general mood of everybody, aside from everybody like being very happy and.
The general like vibe that I got from the con, it felt very SAC Anime-ish. Like if you've ever been to SAC Anime, it has like that certain feeling of like, but at the same time it's not super tiny, so you get to meet new people, and everyone's just really excited to see like friends they've met before, and like them meeting new friends, so it's like this fluster of excitement, and people showing off their costumes, like, oh my god, you're my favorite character ever, let me give you a hug and take 1,000 selfies with you. So I think it was, so everyone was very party excited, happy. I think that's what I got. I mean, I'm sure and I didn't see you and I didn't mention you, and you're having your bad day here.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that's fine. No, it's good to hear. It's good to convention where it's trying to maintain that small convention mentality, but at the same time with the growth of but hearing the fact that they're still kind of maintaining it, it's still something that I think is cool, but I'm kind of questioning for us, like what they're gonna do.
Thinking about that too, because like right now they're teetering on the line of still being a smaller convention, so it's interesting to see how they're going to change in the upcoming years and how they're going to accommodate for all the sides. I've been going to SAC Anime for years, like I have. You notice these changes in venues, changes in prices, changes in administration and stuff. So it's interesting to see it evolve slowly, but I think there's going to be that, and I'm hoping they do it tastefully. but it's going to be new to them, so they're going to have to deal with it by
things work out. I kind of wonder what number do they have to hit to really consider like, okay, we were getting more
Yeah,
attention.
because I mean, I was trying to find the number of attendees this year. I couldn't find it, but I mean, so far their numbers have been in the by no means large, but also it is not a tiny, tiny convention anymore.
Yes, we have to wait and see in terms of how that turns out, but yeah, we'll could definitely see. It's definitely a convention that is growing, so there's no you have a good guess, but we don't know particularly for sure. So you talked about the vendors hall for a little bit. I might talk to you.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it just keeps growing. I swear.
So my question to you: how much bigger can that thing get? Like, did it just grow like another like 30 feet of space?
I mean, it grew in the area where main events used to be, and they had turned it into. It was still partitioned off, but they had taken that whole area and they had made it where the autographs and vendors hall was, and they moved all because the Greek food festival wasn't there. It was all one huge room, so they had main events there as well. But they had like maybe main events was in a different room. No, I think main events was in a different room. I think I'm getting confused.
Okay.
But I think they had so where the Greek food festival was, I think the autographs were, and the rest was. It grew substantially, and like, I heard, like I heard some people complaining, and like I thought it was great because I love going to conventions to look at all of the art because you see all these, you see that at every convention, like the same anime merch, the same plushies, the same wall scrolls and stuff like that, which is just really great to see all their talent and to support them, and I think it's fantastic what they create, and I wish I was that talented. I thought it was awesome that there were more vendors and more artists there because I think it's awesome to give like a lot of people the chance to sell for their brand. But I heard some people complaining that there were too many artists.
Really?
Too many artists, and the fact that a substantial revenue from a substantial profit from the convention.
I would think the out the vendors hall or in the artist side, I think is a good thing. Because like then you have more wide range of choices to choose from per se.
Yeah, there were so many artists that the attendees would go in and they would go through the first aisle and blow all their money on the first aisle. Ants who are at like the back of the convention or all the way on the far side away from the entrance.
I see what you're saying.
Like that,
I see what you're saying.
Because it was so big, they didn't have people to buy their stuff. But
it's all right. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's what I heard. I think many people there. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I selfishly want to see everyone's art, so.
Yeah, like I agree. Like I don't think that's much more choices for the consumer. And if the consumer is like, if that person is saying like, I can't get to the back, it's on the person to spend the money on the first line of defense. I will say though, in that are in the back, kind of not agreeing with it with the way it's organized in terms of like they get less on the back to check out their artwork out. So
yeah, I definitely understand. Like you're on the far side, you're far away from the entrance. There's all on like the first few vendors that I saw, but that's just me because I'm bad with money.
Yeah.
But I mean, like a smart person, entire thing and like, logically decide where to blow all their money. But I mean,
yeah.
The economic. I thought that having a lot of vendors and artists there was freaking awesome because I like it.
Yeah, but that's good. I like the fact that there's more artists for sure, and I'm not saying just as an artist, but I'm saying as a supporter for the artists. For sure. And the time you were there at SAC Anime, any given moment, like was there a moment that just happened at SAC Anime?
It was really funny. Was we were walking through the convention on the last day, and I turned to Dean and I was like, it's weird that always happens. Like I haven't heard it yet. Because I honestly, like, maybe I wasn't paying attention or I was really distracted or I didn't see anything that was just, like, that kept happening. I don't know. I just thought it was a great con. I was just so, like, so everything was just too good for me. I couldn't put my finger on one thing that was just a con moment.
The entire convention is
Perpetual. Well, I think the best thing was that we took our friend who had never been to a convention before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was his first convention, and walking through the vendors hall or going to panels or whatever, he looked like he was like seeing like Disneyland for the first time or something. Like total nerd, and just seeing him like, like, where has this been all my life, man? Now he won't stop talking about inspiration.
Right, definitely. That's cool. Yeah, it's always a gratifying feeling. I think I might have talked about this before, but I went to BabsCon last year. I'm going again this year. Oh man!
And I'm hopefully, because I think it might be on the date as something else, but I want to go. I was gonna go last year, but I couldn't. I cannot wait.
So when I took my friend last year, it was the first time, and he was like he didn't know what to expect, and then when I was showing him around the place, like excited to see what he saw, he was like he was a kid in a candy store, I think is best put it, and he was going from one place to another. I bought him a poster of Pinkie Pie, but Pinkie Pie was dressed up as Mako.
So good.
So I bought it for him. And he really enjoyed that, and he was really loving the con. And he's definitely coming back for funny, but it's really cool to see those reactions for sure for people who are very new to the scene.
Yeah, definitely. I just looked at the BabsCon web decision to make.
You gotta okay.
John Delancey is going.
I know. He didn't go last year, and I was kind of bummed.
I'm torn.
It's Discord.
It's also Q. I have a Discord.
In due time, when that bridge is crossed, you will cross it.
Oh. Because I have to decide. Because if I'm going, I'm cosplaying for sure. Where I'm gonna be cosplay, it's just what am I gonna be cosplaying? That's the question.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
Okay. So my curiosity, my next question is, what was your food place to go? Like the one in specific area in downtown.
There was one that we kept going to that was like a Japanese place in Case.
Go on.
I can't remember the name of it, but I've gone a few times and I thought they were pretty good. Other than stocking up on 7-Eleven snacks.
You know what's funny? Like, there was one year I went, I was broke on money. 7-Eleven's over here. Holy crap. I'm walking in, I'm like, my savior.
That place is pretty good. But yeah. 7-Eleven definitely is the all-time con favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Are starting to pick up. Sac Anime is a really big thing, so they were starting to offer discounts.
Good. I was going to ask about that. Good. Yes.
So there was a coffee or 20% discount or something, which is great for someone like me who's addicted to coffee and needs like 5 cups a day to survive. Hotel restaurants did their whole like Sac Anime, blah 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 blah. If you book your room with the con, you get the discount.
That's one of the things I'm kind of curious about because prior the restaurants on how big Sac Anime was going to be, but as time went on, like definitely like I think more of these restaurants should do something. So that's cool. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think more 1,000 people going to a convention, offer a discount and make some money.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do it. It's a great business strategy.
But yeah, awesome. Great to hear. Excuse me. I just had dinner. In terms of using both the main convention center as well as the Sheraton, how was life in the Sheraton?
I didn't stay in the Sheraton for the first time. I heard the Sheraton was the Sheraton as usual. Last time there was like a huge stuff, and I didn't get any of that in the Hyatt. The Hyatt was quiet. It was very calm, and but I heard the Sheraton was the normal Sheraton.
Gotcha. Was the Hyatt part of the convention circuit? Like,
I don't think they had rooms for Sac Anime.
Okay, that was what I meant to ask. Was there a discount for rooms?
Oh, there was a room rate, and they offered discounts at the Hyatt. Were so nice. We had it's like 17 per night, like per car or something. Just like, if you use the same room key, it'll only charge you for one car. And we were just like, hey, okay.
Nice.
Don't tell anyone. But I mean, like, it was pretty neat. So they really, they had my back on that one.
Nice. That's awesome. That's sick. Kind of curious to see what the future of that convention is going to be with the Sheraton attached. It's very interesting. I think take with the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think because here's okay. So Sac Anime, if you're listening, I have figured that the convention is going to be during the day and then mostly for the night for events, but convention hours over there like be ongoing like for that weekend. Like I kind of like anime how there's like like it's 24 or like have anime room be open or whatever or other events throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
I figured that my I'm not quite sure what was the curfew for this second or what was the last events that ended.
I think, the rave goes on. I never end up going to the rave. I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then I end up falling asleep. It might end at 11. It might be a bit before midnight, but I don't think it goes on much later than that. I know the nightlife though in Sacramento.
Yeah, the nightlife in Sacramento is okay. It's not really the best.
I mean, it's Sac. Any other place in Sac would be.
That's true.
At 12
That's
o'clock.
true.
But I mean, at the same time, you're right. It's Sacramento, so.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
You're in a cow town.
Yes.
I grew up there, so.
Yeah.
It's a cow town.
No, I agree. I like it is okay downtown, but yeah, definitely it is a cow town.
I think it would be cool if Sac Anime extended thing pretty neat. Maybe they have something open till 2, or I don't know, whatever they want to do. I wouldn't go because I'll be asleep by 9. Other people are hip and young and like to party, so.
Let's see. So we covered that. Talked about the staff. Talked about the cosplayers. So in the top, did you manage to go to any of the gatherings that was happening at SAC Anime?
I peeked in a few. I always end up missing for various sleeping reasons.
Right.
Like I said, I'm 70, and the league gathering was too early for me to get into a full cosplay, but I did peek at the gathering stuff, which was, show our friend, like, do you want to see every person at the convention cosplaying all the characters from that anime? Take a look. So I love the gatherings. I think they're awesome, and they were really well coordinated, and I think they're cool. It was cold, but it was still pretty chill.
Right.
But
yeah, definitely. I'm kind of surprised sometimes like how cold it gets, but it does. It really does.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. Awesome. The last question actually is. What were the pros? What were the cons?
Pros vendors this year, I think they were awesome. The masquerade this year was awesome. That I went to. The masquerade was great. Cosplay was fantastic. Cons, I still think for the first day of the convention.
Sucks. Wait, was SAC Anime like on the first day of New Year's?
Yeah, it was literally January. The places were closed, which kind of was a bummer. But that's just scheduling. So
yeah. Have they announced dates for next year's?
I think it's like the 2nd through 4th. Or wait, no, yeah, it's.
Oh, that's right. San Francisco has our Comic-Con coming up.
Yes, so I have a lot of big decisions to make this year, and I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore.
We kind of asked ourselves that question, but then again,
I'll just teleport. It's no big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever. It's not stressful for me. And it's the 2nd through 4th of September, but don't quote me on that because I'm probably wrong.
Cool. Any was it the only that popped into mind?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2016.
Okay. I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, like, if you have virtually no complaints
and because places were closed, and I'm cheap, so frugal.
Yeah.
So that's just that, and I'm thinking about insanely fast.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, it was literally like Sheraton opened their rooms at out, so
I kind of wonder if SAC Anime is going to adapt what Fanime is doing this year. For those who don't know, Fan recently announced that their method to get a hotel room this year is that you must have a badge person.
is that like per night, like how a lot of conventions do like their VIP package? It's like one VIP badge per night. Con and SAC Anime do for their VIP upgrades.
That's a very good question. As far as I know, it's just for the entire weekend. So if you have a badge for the still might be able to do that. Interesting. I didn't think of that.
Questions? Where's their fact page?
Journalism at its best. What was I gonna say? So that's their new system that they're doing this year's Fanime. It has been getting bigger as of late. I kind of wonder like what they're gonna do for the hotel. Are they going to expand more Fanime's idea of like having one badge per hotel? I'm not quite sure. And these questions are going to have to be answered by SAC Anime in the
wants to do too.
That's true.
Because I mean, I know I hear every year like the Sheraton like threatens to like not host SAC and jerk face to the actual Sheraton property, and like they leave the place in shambles. So I hear every year that they're like not gonna allow us back. So it's up to the Sheraton what they want to ultimately let them do.
Yeah, definitely. If that is the case though, where Sheraton has been threatening for a very long time to leave, that might be something sad to really consider on fixing, because I think that the Sheraton is connected to that convention, because
Oh, definitely not. I mean, this is the best location that they've had forever.
Yes, definitely. It's the best at the Sheraton, as well as like the gaming room and everything else. There's definitely like then I think that SAC Anime needs to really either set some new rules up or something in regards, because they cannot lose the hotel at all.
This is just me. I have no idea if these actual life threats are real. I just hear them through other people, so it could be completely fake, and others are.
Yeah, so take it with a grain of salt, but definitely something to consider in the future.
So if you're staying at the Sheraton, moral of the story, don't fire alarm or smoke in the hallways, because that's not what you're supposed to do.
Yep, definitely. All right, cool. Well, with that said, thank you, JD, for joining me to talk about everything SAC Anime.
On the internet, you can just follow me on Twitter at JD, the letters J and D cosplay, and you can follow all of my costume updates and what I think about on a day. So
you can follow me personally on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and JD do on our website at Missions. To check out all our coverage of the tech animes, of fanimes. We basically cover a lot of conventions in the year, and that's so if you're listening to this on iTunes and Stitcher, awesome job. Also, if you're listening to on our website, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher on your podcast feeds. Anyways, with that being said, this is Anthony. That's JD.